Yes, we're in Lagos, but now we are going to Washington, D.C. because it's an action-packed world of sports. We want to find out what's going on in Washington, D.C. Sonny Young is standing by to give us all the latest updates. Sonny, good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Austin. Great to be back on Sports Tonight, and hello to all your Sports Tonight viewers.
I know, Sonny, quick shout-out for the immediate past Chief Judge of Lagos State. Sonny, you know, women are getting powerful every day in football, and to have a Nigerian in the FIFA Ethics Committee, Sonny was celebrating it here.
Austin, let's give a shout out for Justice Ayotunde Phillips, the only African on that revered FIFA Ethics Committee. I liked what Yemi said a few minutes ago, Austin. The biggest room in the House is room for improvement. And we hope that FIFA, by adding these women to some of its top panels, will improve for the good of the game. You know, Austin, that we have Fatma Samora in one of the top FIFA positions. She's from Senegal, FIFA Secretary General. So maybe the addition of this former Lagos chief judge will improve FIFA's ethical standing.
That's right. And of course, giving Africa a voice in that very important committee. Now, Sonny, maybe fingers crossed, we might just be having a female FIFA president soon.
Well, we almost had a female U.S. president last year, Austin. Very close. So who knows? I think that's possible that, you know, we could see a female FIFA president in the future. You know, I think it would be good for the game. And I do like how FIFA is becoming a little more diverse in terms of its leadership.
That's right. Total inclusion right there. The women are involved. Africa is involved. All parts of the world are involved in this new FIFA. Sonny, let's talk basketball now. Oh, the playoffs gets us talking lately. Not a good one for your team. The Washington Wizards, they are trailing at the moment. It's 3-2. Sonny, anywhere out for the Wizards?
Austin, I knew you would poke a little fun at my magical Washington Wizards. They got hammered on Wednesday night. They lost to the Boston Celtics in Boston, 123-101. This game was not close, Austin. The Wizards trailed almost the entire game. Now the series comes back here to Washington for Game 6 on Friday night. The home teams have really, home court advantage has been crucial in this series, Austin. Boston has won all 3 of its games on its court. Washington has won 2 games on its court. But one thing to keep in mind, the Wizards have not won in Boston in more than 3 years. So at this stage, I would say the Celtics have the advantage in that series. Early Friday morning Nigeria time, the Houston Rockets will host the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs lead this series 3-2. One player they're talking about, Austin, ahead of Game 6 is Kawhi Leonard, the all-star forward for San Antonio. He tweaked his left ankle in Game 5, and there's some question as to whether he'll be 100% fit for this pivotal Game 6. The Spurs are already without their veteran point guard, Tony Parker, who ruptured a leg muscle in Game 2. He's out for the rest of the NBA playoffs. I think all these long series, Austin, with both Washington, Boston, and San Antonio, Houston, it really favors the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors because they're just resting right now.
Yeah, I know.
They're just sitting back, taking it easy, and saying we're going to have some fresh legs when we do play these teams.
I know. But so, Sonny, what do you think? I know Tony Parker now, Kawhi Leonard with the injury scare. You think the Spurs can go all the way without them?
I do. I think they've had some good contributions from Manu Ginobili. He looked 20 years younger the other night, Austin. He's 39 years old, one of the oldest players in the NBA, but he was dunking the ball in their last game, and he's really added some veteran leadership. The question is whether they can stop James Harden in Game 6 tonight. Harden, of course, is a candidate for the MVP award And just a quick note for our Sports Tonight viewers, this year, very similar to what Africa does with its football awards every year in January, the NBA is going to have a night of awards to name its top players. I think the date is June 26th, but it'll be after the playoffs take place, where they'll give out their big awards like Coach of the Year, MVP, that type of thing. Very similar to other professional sports holding these gala awards nights.
That sounds good, Sonny. But that aside, we cannot just wait for Game 6. Bring it on, so we can talk about it. Because after the action comes the reaction. Sonny, World Cup 2026 bid. What's all the talks going around?
Well, I know the FIFA Congress is one of the big stories this week, taking place in Bahrain, and top officials from all over the world are there, including Sunil Gulati, the U.S. Soccer Federation president, and they kind of advocated, lobbied for the 2026 World Cup. The USA has a joint bid with Canada and Mexico. But one thing that FIFA did rule this week in Bahrain, they said that countries interested in bidding for the 2026 World Cup, including from CAF, the Confederation of African Football, they basically have a 3-month window up until August 11th to express their interest in hosting the 2026 World Cup. And so it's not a shoo-in that the USA, Mexico, and Canada are going to get the 2026 World Cup. FIFA is allowing member nations from other confederations. Be interesting to see if any African countries come forward, Austin. I know Morocco has been mentioned as a possible bidding country.
Let me talk to the president, maybe Nigeria, which was bid for it also. Sonny, what else do you have for us before we let you go?
Well, one quick note: later in the year, from end of July 27th to August 3rd, the USA Women National Soccer Team, they'll be hosting another 4-nation tournament featuring Brazil, Japan, and Australia. Kind of a warm-up tournament, but they've also hosted one earlier in the year in March, and France won that tournament. So the USA women are trying to keep their skills honed, so to speak. And I hope they invite Nigeria and some of the African women's teams to participate in these tournaments, Austin.
Sounds so good, Sonny Young. Thank you so much, Sonny, for always making our time to speak to us. Sonny, we appreciate all the best to not just you, but also your team, the Washington Wizards.
Fingers crossed here, Austin. Fingers crossed for the Wizards.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sonny.